In a quarter century, much has changed about the city of Hoisington. Its streets are no longer brick-laden, many of its schools have been torn down or rebuilt, even its defining water tower with a new face. Much of that change spurred by an F4 tornado that struck in 2001. I spoke to 3 individuals with 3 unique perspectives on one of Hoisington's most defining events. Climbing out of basements or shelters into the rubble of town, the hospital was the first place many thought to come. Hoisington's white noise, the wind. That night, it could only be described one way.
I would say it sounded like a freight train, just like they always say.
Diane Batchman, a Clara Barton Hospital lab tech,
Well, it's been 25 years, you know.
was on call as the sky turned gray.
My husband, he asked me if I was going to the hospital, and I said yes. He goes, well, you need to be careful. We just got hit by a tornado.
At roughly a square mile in size, it's a hard town to get lost in. But as Diane journeyed toward the hospital,
I recognized where the Catholic Church was, because that was still standing, so we knew we were on Main Street. But we had no concept of where we were at.
Her first priority, securing the hospital's blood supply. Working through the night by flashlights and lanterns, they had no idea how bad things were.
It was devastating, though, the next day when it was light out and you could see.
Businesses laid bare, homes and lives wiped from their foundations.
So people, they do what they have to do to take care. As long as their families were safe, they were up here.
It would never look the same, but Hoisington was on its way to recovery. Diane was one of hundreds, spending hundreds of hours pitching in.
The community came together, and it was something special. But don't ever want to live through that again.
The site of many celebrations in town, the Knights of Columbus hosted prom that evening, which was normally held at the high school just up the block.
After, it all happens, everybody was counting their blessings, that we weren't at the high school, where all the direct hits were.
For Dalton Pope and the class of '01, the celebrations of prom drowned out the sound of Hoisington's freight train.
The music was going, to me, it was just a normal, nobody even knew.
Before they were escorted to the basement, they caught glimpses of a brewing storm through the open door.
Nobody knew that a tornado would hit until after we came out of the basement.
In less than 20 minutes,
utter devastation.
Nearly half the town was leveled.
Like what you've always seen on TV, and then you're actually living it, just chaos.
As they made their way onto a pitch black Main Street, the chaos of their situation didn't dissipate with the storm.
I was trying to get to my aunt's house, trying to get on any of these side streets up there. Power poles were down, everything was just, you couldn't access any of it.
Their last weeks of class not spent in the classroom.
Most of the days for school, we just went around and kind of cleaned up. A couple teachers made us have classes. Yeah, it was definitely a night.
Now completely rebuilt, the Dairy Queen that once occupied this structure was the site of one of the tornado's most infamous and harrowing experiences. As the air turned a sickly green and the wind picked up,
what they say is true. It sounded like a freight train.
Michelle Mosier and her coworkers ran for their makeshift storm shelter.
As we were running to the walk-in cooler, it was as if somebody was taking a gun and shooting the windows one after another. It was just pop, pop, pop.
Shoulder to shoulder.
A couple more people would come in and a couple more people would come in.
They rode out the storm in darkness. They only heard the building as it came down around them.
To this day, people I just remember Michelle praying Hail Marys very, very quickly.
Just the cooler stayed intact, and for years,
April 21, 2001, F4 furry from the skies.
Michelle has documented what they walked into.
The walk-in cooler is just past this door.
Page after page.
This would have been the drive-through.
Chronicling the storm that changed Hoisington forever.
At one point, I think I probably want to maybe put it in the Hoisington Museum.
Serving as a reminder of what Michelle and others still remember like it was yesterday.
There isn't an anniversary that doesn't go by every year that I don't think about the people that suffered such tragedy that night. Just thankful that we all walked out of there together.